Welcome to Jim White's Opportunity Investing Webinar. Jim has been investing, coaching executives, and turning around companies for over 30 years. Now your host, Dr. Jim White.
Hello, this is Jim White, and welcome to my Opportunity Investing Webinar series, and it's March the 17th, 2020. The nation has surely seen a change since our last session on February the 27th, 2020. I know you do not need me to talk about the coronavirus, but I do want to say in a crisis, in any crisis, it requires leadership, direct, calm communication. The webinar series is about opportunity investing and the many ways that the private investment community can make positive impact in over 8,800 communities in the United States. As I speak, many federal, state, and local government officials are taking action to slow the spread of the coronavirus. Some officials are doing a better job than others, however, and many politicians are putting self-interest still above our nation's security and interests. I am fortunate to lead several companies, and one of my main responsibilities is the health and safety of each and every employee. We lead based on fact, we weigh all options, and then we make decisions, and then over-communicate our decision to our employees in a calm, organized way. If you fail to lead and communicate clearly, fear would take over, which will be worse than the crisis itself. In my book, Opportunity Investing, I dedicated part 4 of the book on how to run a successful business. It is not my intent to promote my book today, but only to let you know you have a resource based on over 40 years of experience that you may find useful at this time. We're going to release the book on March the 31st, 2020. At that time, you'll have an opportunity, even starting tomorrow, to pre-order should you so desire. I have been through many challenges throughout my life, from childhood to life and death situations, and through many economic crises. We must not only overcome the coronavirus, but the economic fallout will be challenging as well. The United States has been through many challenges since her founding. We have experienced over 47 recessions. I personally have been through the 70s, standing in line for fuel, high interest rates. In 1987, a crash, financial disaster, 2001, 2008, to just name a few, and now 2020. The leadership from the White House will go down in history. I am not, however, suggesting which side of history you will view 2020, but in my opinion, it will not be favorable. We are a resilient nation, and this crisis too shall pass, and we will overcome. We will be stronger as a result. In the next series, which is on March 31st, 2020, we're going to have a special guest. And this special guest invested in New Jersey and has done some phenomenal developments through other QOZs. As we move past our book launch release on March the 31st, 2020, I am going to continue this series. And the series is going to be broken down through every chapter of the book. I think it's really important at this time, especially under these challenging conditions. Just before going live, we got a notice from Monterey County, which is one of our major markets for the ag industry. Just moments before we went live, stating that shelter in place until April the 7th, I believe it was. Now, we are that vital chain, we being our companies, Post-Harvest Technologies, Central Coast Cooling, Growers Ice, PhD Opportunity Fund. We are part of that vital supply chain as it relates to the food industry. So therefore, we have been planning for days to be out ahead of this curve. It is a challenge because our season is starting within probably next week. We're going to start seeing some vegetables to start coming for pre-cooling and cooling in our facility in Salinas, California. Our challenge is to be able to receive the food, and the food safety is always the forefront. With the coronavirus, we've got to take extra steps, which we are working on. The past 2 to 3 days has been constant changing the policy and training just to be prepared. That's called leadership. That is called making the tough decisions in tough times. Like I said, leadership requires calm, precise communication, which in my opinion has been a challenge throughout this crisis. It is not my intent, however, to sit here and criticize the White House, but I can say I'm certainly not a fan of the leadership that we have received. It has put many of our citizens in harm's way, which that, as being a combat veteran, we fought for these rights to be able to have leaders that has integrity. So as we look at the days to come, I encourage you to be calm, be proactive, and please be safe. So in the next session, March 31st, we're going to have a great guest for you. So for today, I'm going to say thank you for your time. Thank you for your interest. Thank you for all you do, wherever you may be. And thank you for continuing to support our effort of investing in the qualified opportunity zones. This crisis, if nothing else, reinforces the need to invest in these communities to create more businesses and business incubators and better planning, better communication. So there's not a better time. The markets are providing for new liquidity to a degree. You may not believe that, but there's opportunity there. And as we start evaluating what we're going to do with our investments going forward, I would encourage you to seek out opportunity fund, investigate that fund, and make a decision. And it's invest in a enterprise that not only will make a positive difference in millions of people around the nation, but also will give you a better return than what you're currently receiving in the stock market. So with that, I'm going to say thank you. Have a nice night, and we will talk to you on the 31st of March. Have a good evening. Good night.
Thank you for your participation and interest in Jim White's Opportunity Investing webinar. To stay in touch with Jim, please go to www.opportunityinvesting.com.